My Gavanen Melonin, and well met indeed. I'm Arakea Galadurathan, and welcome back to Middle-earth as we continue on with this absolutely cheating fanfare of disgust, which is the Reunited Kingdom. No, there was not an introduction to today's episode, but that is because, of course, some months ago I swapped to the introductions being on the second episode of each week. So if you're keen for an Dunedain themed intro, then you have to stay tuned in 2 days' time when the next episode comes out. I haven't written it yet, so I might not write it, but I plan to. Anywho, we are doing rather well. The live stream on Saturday went particularly well, much better than my attending Watford Football Stadium, Vicarage Road, because we lost 3-1. But the stream went very well. Aragorn and Halbrand led a brave army south through the lands of Eregion, across the river and into Dunland proper, to Dunland's capital of Byring, where we took it, sacked the buildings, destroyed everything, sold everything, killed everyone. Well, we didn't. We only sacked it rather than exterminated. And then we ploughed on. We took Dunland and gave that to Ennard Wythe in return for money and map info. And then Aragorn and Halbrand parted ways, and Aragorn and a small company has pressed on. And he's going to go and get the Oathbreakers. Halbrand returned, gathered an army of mercs, and with Dunland's own people, we are about to crush their soul. Do you bend to me? And we will beat Dunland back. Once Dunland is gone, there is no real threat from the south, unless Moria gets some ideas against the elves, which I doubt they will do. And we can then turn our full attention to Angmar. However, at some point within that, Helaguiven is going to go on his merry way into Gondor, where he's going to go and talk to Ministerith, talk to the Gondorians, and talk to the Amrothians, and obtain an alliance. But for now, we shall end the turn and be about our business. Now, if you are totally perplexed as to why I mentioned cheating at the beginning, I used the move character command to move Aragorn across the Eisen River, rather than have to go across the blocked river crossing. And rather than having to fight Isengard just to make Aragorn walk over to Dunharrow, I took the view that Aragorn, being a wily ranger, would absolutely be able to cross a river like the Isen, particularly near its start, without having to have a bridge or some such. And of course, there are a few people who have taken great disdain to that, but there's no point mentioning them now because they've almost certainly buggered off. They are unlikely to stay and watch now that this absolute disgrace has taken place. They are very unlikely to still be here. But that was why I mentioned it at the beginning, if you're wondering, because I don't care. And I just wanted to make that clear. Oh, look at Ennard Wythe's garrison in Matrice. That's absolutely huge. We definitely allied the right one. And if we can, just get them to realise that Dunland is the enemy. Dunland is the enemy. They'll be a little curious, or rather, they'll be a little hesitant to go to war with Dunland because of Dunland's large and more powerful ally. And they might be thinking of that all the while. Yes, but if we can get them to do it, then all the better. Now, this is where we're going to run into a bit of a problem, is that we're not allied to Rohan, and standing outside of their capital might get them to think that we are going to attack their capital.
We can go no further, my lord.
Your orders.
So something that I think I'll do on the way through is try and get an alliance with them. It's not going to work though, is it? No.
An honour and a pleasure. Yes. Tomorrow's journey planned out.
I'm not bothered about hanging around there to try and get that alliance.
Orders,
so Aragorn, yeah, you're just going to have to cross over. I think this one with the Oathbreakers, he doesn't actually have to go to Dunharrow. I'm fairly confident he just has to get into the King's Land, which is just over this river. Oh no, we're already in the King's Land. So we should already be there. It just depends on whether or not you actually have to go to Dunland, but I'd be really surprised if we do have to actually go all the way. Speaking of going all the way, let's attack Dunlarak so that we can divide and conquer so that Neoson's army's not involved. Let us give them a damned good hiding.
Your orders, my lord.
Mentar, he only got 1 unit of defenders, and this is a crappy Wildman town, remember, which does not, have I already saved it? Which does not get towers.
Attack!
Oh, it depends on the tier of it, actually. It might get towers, but even if it does, there'll only be a couple. I should be able to circumvent them. Something that I've seen asked of me a lot lately is, of course, the golden question. When is version 5 going to be released? I can't give you an answer to that. But the question that I can answer is faction overviews. Lots of people recently have been asking about faction overviews. And yes, I absolutely will be bringing faction overviews back to the channel, provided version 5 releases in a relatively timely manner. I mean, if it releases in 10 years' time, I can't promise that I'm going to do overviews. But provided that it releases sometime in the near future, I definitely plan to bring overviews back. But there is no point doing overviews until version 5 releases. This is the same problem that I've always had to explain in the past, but I'm happy to explain again. Because, of course, lots of things in the mod are subject to change, and so there's no point doing an overview. I've been burnt in the past. There's no point doing an overview for something that actually ends up getting edited before version 5 releases, and thereby is not in the mod when it actually releases. And so, having learnt my lesson some years ago with one set of the overviews where I did do them early, I've then always taken the view that they should not be released until version 5 releases. So it does mean that the overviews are a little less pertinent, because of course you can just play the game, so you don't need the overviews to tell you what the faction does. But they still prove to be massively popular, and I can understand why. They teach you about things in the game which you otherwise might not know. And I certainly enjoy watching my own overviews back, so I'm with you on that one. Alright, they do have towers because it is a castle, not a town. So it has the rudimentary towers, but we are going to attack them from all sides, which does actually have the unfortunate advantage for them, or the unfortunate disadvantage for us, I should phrase it. We are going to be shot throughout this entire fight. Now, they won't destroy our battering rams, I don't think. But our troops will be shot at throughout almost all of this fight, because everywhere within that town, because it's so small, because it's such a small castle, everywhere within it can reach the towers. So the towers will always be held by the enemy. But we're going for a sort of shock and awe. If we can hit them in multiple places... Take my watch off. If we can hit them in more places than just one, then the day is ours, and all will fall before the might of the Dunedain. Many of you are pleasantly surprised that the Dunedain campaign seems to be continuing with aplomb, and I am on board with that. I never had any doubt that I was going to lose it, to be honest. Blind confidence is something that I certainly possess. Foolish confidence, some of you may say. And I can appreciate that, I can understand that. Oh, you can already shoot where you are. No, it's the pikes I want to move in, sorry. What is shooting at us? Just the towers. Oh no, there we go. Something's taking up. Clan Levy Hunters starting to hit us. We're up against the walls on this side though, but this side is where our worst archers are. So they're in the kind of the worst position to attack, really. We've made it to the gate.
Reached the gate with a battering ram.
What are we on in terms of kills? 2% plays 6. So we're still... These towers aren't strong enough just yet to really give us grief. We're outclassing them with our ranged units. We Dunedain will fight for you. Damn bloody right you will. Look at those glorious bows.
We've breached our enemy's walls.
Oh, where? Oh, over there. And over here. It's all going on. Nicely done, chippy chappies. Let's get in there. Drop the ram. In you go, guys. You guys, drop the ram. Oh, is the enemy fleeing back to the town centre? It looks like they are. We can hit them from all angles.
The walls, into the breach,
this is brilliant.
And on to victory. The battering ram has done its work.
Battering ram is doing its work all over the shop. Ah, Dunlanding pikemen. No, send our pikes round. Send our pikes round. Don't get mixed up in that. You guys come and help the main line down the middle. You guys go that way, actually. And so we got these two coming this way. You're going to go and link up. Who is that? Oh, the ballista crew.
Soldiers have proved their worth today.
Oh, we got cell swords.
Belong to us
I don't remember when we bought cell swords. Go and hit the ballista. Send the pikes in. Right, you guys. Charge to the fort. Our archers can move up. Oh, they are still firing, but they're probably not firing at anything particularly good now. Move a bit closer. Brilliant. They've hit the ballista crew. Cell swords are charging in. That pike line is helping. I will zoom in a moment and just have a look at the units, but let's just get everyone into position. We don't want to throw away such an advantage over nothing. Ah, brilliant. You guys can go down the front here. What to do with those pikes, though? Let's get our archers into the square. You might as well just go forward. So let's have a look at Dunland's units. We've seen Dunland's units before because they're not massively changed visually. They were going to be overhauled by Bill Baraka, I believe, and he's going to release his work, I think, in AGO. So if you're particularly into it, you can get it from AGO. But I think in DaC, they're going to remain looking like Lord of the Rings-inspired units. And Wildman. Right, now comes the hard part, because Dunlanding units are generally rubbish. And the only real advantage we have here is that we are hitting them on all sides. But as you are seeing over there, we're getting massacred by the Dunlanding pikemen, which is to be expected. But our archers are in now. Stop firing and just shoot at other things. What are you guys shooting at? You can press delete and it follows the arrow. Why am I saying that? In case you didn't know, let's do it instead. So when you've got a unit selected, you press the delete button. It hovers over to the general, but then when archers start firing, it randomly chooses an arrow and it flies through the sky with it. And it didn't hit anyone. But you have to press the delete key to end that linking. You can't just move the mouse to end that little camera overhaul, which is very annoying and unintuitive, and would be something I'd love for them to change if they did overhaul Med 2. I really don't think they will do a Med 2 remaster like they did with Rome. I just don't think that's on the cards. Right, the bulk of the enemy force is here. That's where the Wildman defenders are holding us back. They are split up, but this one is where we really need to win it. Because as you can see, there's a lot on that left-hand side, but there's loads at the back, which is where the bulk of the enemy is. If we can hit their Dunherd Slayers there, please. Can you guys reach... Ah, no, look, your range isn't very good at all. Let's get you into the city as well, then. The towers have stopped shooting, which is good. I was worried they might not, but they have. Right, we've lost over on that side. We've got a few guys here getting shot by the towers again, annoyingly. The archers are out of arrows, pull them out.
They have lost half their men.
They've lost half. We're on 27%. Ah, it's going well. Our pikes here are holding, which is nice. They're getting a taste of their own medicine, these Dunlanding pikes. Wildman defenders holding up there with the old river visuals from Enadwythe. Those are what river elders used to wear. Or used to look like, I suppose, is better phrasing. They are being beaten. The Dunlandings do not hold a candle to the might of the Dunedain, and when the Dunlandings are being led by the Dunedain, they turn into monsters of war. This fella just clubbing this guy to death, breaking his knee for some particular reason. He's not too bothered about actually ending him. He just really, really wants his knee broken. Some people are just really evil, though, aren't they? They're just... Right, get in there and hit them. Let's speed this up, because it is now time to end it. So the pikes are going to go over there and help. You guys are just going to charge into the back of those. More pikes come over down here as well. Oh, I tell you what, go and pike on pike violence. Ah, no, look, those Dunlanding pikemen. Catch them off guard, get a nice little shot on them. That thwacking noise that you can definitely still hear is the towers shooting at us. Oh, the arrival of our troops up there forced them to break. Ah, yeah, look, there's routing. It is soon to be over. The last few are... Yes!
Awed by the victory we have won here today.
36% we lost in the end. The tower's probably doing a lot more damage than we really needed. We really could have done without. Dunedain Rangers 213, but the core of our army, the 3 Dunedain Rangers and Halbarad, were virtually untouched. No casualties for the Steel Bowmen, 1 for that Ranger unit, 2 for that Ranger unit, and 4 for that one. That's more than acceptable. It's all the low-tier Dunlanding trash that died. And what is the purpose of trash, everyone? I've said it many times, and you all can say it with me now. Their purpose is to die. And Dunland have achieved that feat, and then some. The Beacon of Hope system moving to the mercenary system, I think, was a fantastic change. And if I do say so myself, because I was the one that oversaw that change, but I do think it is a good change. Of course I think it's a good change. That's why I did it. There's another thing for you all. You can just pop that one in your pipes and have a little smoke on that. Another thing that Gallo did that all the people love to think that I didn't. If we sack it, we'll get 1,343. That's not too bad. We get 537, but it might actually like us. It's only a keep, isn't it? We don't really want to... I want the money. Give me all the money, and then I'm going to destroy everything. This place is useful to us in time. Ancillary training grounds. We can't get any use out of that. So there's a temptation to build and try and keep it. Merge what can be merged, but Tharbad is the real goal. That's where we want. Can I get another spy? Who can give me a spy? Capital, can you give me a spy? No. Oh, you could give me a bodyguard, though. That's interesting. Are there any building? Yes, war camp's only 1 turn away. The leather tanner and Ossul's going up. Ah, no, get the grain exchange. If we're going to build risky buildings, having them out on the edges over here is much better than putting them here in the centre. Alright, when we end turn, we'll find out if Aragorn is going to get what we want him to get. Let's try and bring our spy back then. There we are. Let's go and find out what Dunland still has. Well, to my knowledge... Ah, no, bugger. To my knowledge, that'll be Dunland down to its less than 3 now. They've only got Tharbad and Ferdor. Oh, no, they've got this one over here, which I keep forgetting that was added a while ago. Is it Kyrell? This one here that we can't see, that is owned by Dunland. So they are currently on 3 regions. So we don't really want to take another region for the time being. Unless we risk their ire. When you can, please do train those Dunland Rangers. I'll send them off into the fort. In fact, we'll send off the Bree Archers there now so that they're ready to go. That's definitely a wise plan, is filling up those forts with as many troops as possible, because then they're free all that time. And then when we need them, we can just pop them out. We've got to just keep checking on the borders down there as well. If Moria do get Eregion back, we're in a bit of trouble. But Dunland border is still held by Enid Wythe. All of this land is Isengard. If we can get a strong Enid Wythe, particularly to attack Isengard, because remember, Isengard is one of our victory conditions and is likely to be one of the ones we actually will get. I don't know what's going to happen when we suddenly have all of Gondor under our belt, because it just means we're going to be fighting Mordor again. But remember, Mordor's been slightly changed since the last time we fought them, which was just in the Ardenaim campaign. They don't have Cirith Ungol anymore, and they've got a region out in the east now, so there's a slight difference. The enemy has Holy hell, fire! We are besieged. Moria did come back. Alright, well, we'll abandon that to them. That's an easy decision to make. Kindly don't build that. We can't destroy any other buildings. Sorry, people inside. You're going to die. I'm gonna stick you. I am not bothered at all if Byring falls to Moria, because again, it's way further afield from us, so we're not too worried about that. What I want now, really, is Tharbad. And particularly because... yes. Do we give that one to Enid Wythe as well and then be on our merry way? What's the middleman? 89%. Yeah, if we give this to Enid Wythe will be able to hold it. But then it's just that Moria army. I don't want to waste troops against that Moria army. Let's just plan this out in our minds. Moria is going to capture Byring. Moria, then being at war with me and having a bit of a vendetta against me, will move on Dunlarak. Of course they will. I'm the player. The AI always targets the player. Which means we're going to have to defend Dunlarak. So we can either sit there trying to defend a crappy Mott and Bailey, which isn't going to upgrade forever. He says it can already upgrade. But anyway, we're not going to get the money together to do that. We could sit there trying to defend this castle, or we could throw everything we now have, pool it all together, and take Tharbad, which is a much better city to hold. Dunland's last stand army would then kick in, but Dunland have no relations with Moria, so they might take it. They might attack them. So what I am going to do is exactly what I've just said. I am going to move my army out of Dunlarak. I don't want bandits. Bandits are next to useless.
This tower will keep vigil over the lands.
There's a large Dunland army there. We could try and go north. You can get over here, and then you can walk all the way up and round, and then hit Fëanor, and that would avoid the Dunland armies. We could try and go back, and then curl in from Tharbad from the north. That's probably a better bet, isn't it? Because they can't get across then. If we attack from this side, these two armies will fight against us.
I I will only be gone.
We're well within their
Yes,
movement
my
ranges. I think our only hope is to hide in the trees.
With honor.
No, that's not going to
Making
work at
camp
all.
here.
And now we're just in...
Get me.
we're in range of all three of them. I think Halbrad's going to die. We're in range of all three of them where we were, so that was really my only hope, is to try and get him into those trees, but it's not worked. Right, very real risk that Halbrad's going to die. Aragorn did not get the Oathbreakers, which suggests to me that he does have to go actually up to Dunharrow.
With honor.
So we're going to stand him on
Yes,
the
my lord.
barrow.
As you wish. I shall
Oh,
continue
you really can't
tomorrow,
talk. You've stopped right
stopping
next to the
here,
bloody place.
Stopping here.
Stupid man. Ooh, scouts, yes please. And I will queue up the wardens because you'll get free upkeep, won't you? You get at least 2 from the stone circle, don't you? Yes, you do. Good, 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 good. Excellent. Fenestrion's got some scouts as well. So we've got enough troops up here, I think, in the north. Oh, Angmar. Can I ask what the bloody hell do you think you're doing with your men of Rudar? They still haven't got the North Downs, and they still haven't got the Uplands. But are we? Do we really want to just throw 2 units
I will
away?
only address you in
Well, they'll need to siege it, won't they? And if they do, we'll just pull the army and maybe move on them. Or we'll just pull everyone out.
my lord.
They're training.
Your will, my lord.
I'm tempted to gather together an army now and go for Fëanor before Halbarad's inevitable death. Before he crosses back over the river. No, I don't think we should do that. And we don't really want to defend that fort, is all I'm thinking. So for the sake of paying for one of them... Oh, no, we get both free. Oh, brilliant. Then, yeah, come back. Come back, guys. Come back. Come and sit in Ostsul for now. All right, let's end the turn, see what happens. Can we do anything else in Byring? No. Dunland. Oh, we didn't destroy all the buildings. Just make sure we do that. Dunland can have Dunland, that's fine. Because then they'll border Moria, and that might give them more incentive to attack Moria. Now, the Dunland Last Stand army will spawn near Byring. It will spawn in the region called Dunland proper, which is their primary region, hence the name. That region on the right there, that Byring is the capital of, is the actual province of Dunland. Well, province is the wrong word, but that is where Dunland actually is. Sorry, chaps. Byring is lost to us. But then, with the loss of those troops as well, none of them were free upkeep, so it wasn't even making 400 gold coins. We probably only lost about 200 gold coins. Although trade with... Oh, they didn't attack Halbarad. Oh, you morons. It was near Dunharrow where Aragorn stood before the leader of the dead, demanding them to fulfill their oaths. He lifted his sword Anduril and claimed his birthright to become a leader of men. The dead responded to the call of their king and promised their aid. The evil forces will tremble when they see what they are about to face. If ever there was doubt in the minds of the Gondorians that Aragorn was their rightful king, then they have been silenced today. Holding aloft the sword of kings, Anduril, Aragorn commanded the army of the dead to make good on their oath, and they answered. Only a true claimant to the throne could command such power. Now then, is the time. Hasten with all speed to Minas Tirith and claim your rightful place as king of the Reunited Kingdom of Gondor and Arnor. Now, I think, if any of the developers are listening, I think you should probably add to that text message that you will only become the king if you have already allied with Gondor and Dol Amroth. Because if you don't make that clear at that point, people are going to go off to Gondor. They're going to sit there and be like, I sent my king to Gondor and absolutely nothing happened. How on earth do I reform the Reunited Kingdom?
Yes.
Yes,
And people will be annoyed.
without question.
Right, what I'm going to do with the King of the Dead, see, they cleverly, rather cleverly, we, the mod team, I don't know if it was us or if it's the current team, I don't know which one brought it in, but cleverly, because as many of you have already suggested, there was a way where you used to be able to cheese the Army of the Dead. Now, the Army of the Dead can only fight in 3 battles. 1, 2, 3. And then they go. They are disbanded. Previously, the King of the Dead would spawn with himself and 2 other units. But it was only the king that would be checked to see if he had fought in the battles. So you could move out the 2 individual units and the Army of the Dead would be yours forever. People would cheese that, as you might imagine. They'd send those 2 units out and then fight with the king, and then those units would just live forever.
Your orders, my lord.
To get around that, those armies have been disbanded.
My lord. Orders.
Now, when we pull everyone to Ostsul, we are going to no longer make any money. I don't really want to fight them on the field. But then actually, that army is then going to go on to Ferdor. What do we do with Halbrand? This is the question. Personally, I think bring him back and go the long way, because otherwise Bran will be involved. Spy, can you move? No, we can't move the spy yet.
Your orders, my lord.
I just don't know. I really want him to attack Tharbad from the other side of the river. Walking to the other side of the river will take ages. But I think it's going to be the better way to go about it. So let's nip back across this way, bypass Ferdor, and come in to Tharbad. Hit it from the northern side. Dunland will get Dunlarak back. That's not a problem. They're welcome to it. I could try and sell it to someone, but again, that's the level of cheese I don't like selling it to Gondor or something. That was something that someone suggested in the comments as well. Anything that I give to Gondor now, Gondor will be able to hold for as long as they can hold it, and then I will get it back naturally anyway when the Reunited Kingdom forms. So some people suggested giving away these Dunland provinces to Gondor, and then I'll just get them back when I absorb Gondor. But I didn't want to do that. Those are the levels I don't like. Moving Aragorn one tile across a river, I really wouldn't bat an eyelid at. I honestly don't care in the slightest. I really don't think that's cheating. I think that I just don't. I'm afraid. Moving diplomats around, I really never have considered cheating. I know a lot of people do. A lot of people think that you should play within the parameters of the game, regardless of how the studio took the game in future iterations. You should play under what restrictions this game has, and I can understand, and there's merit in that. But again, I just disagree. The diplomat's the most boring thing about Med 2, and I don't care about all the annoying walking you have to do with diplomats. So I'm happy to cheese it. Right, this garrison I'm going to leave, other than I will take the scouts, because they're no use in a city battle. And that army, I think, will attack Ulraig, because we've got enough archers, we should be okay. Or if we wait one turn, we'll wait for the Dunedain, then we'll definitely beat him. The scouts in here, you can come with me as well. And we'll move off to Ferdor. I think I'll take the wardens as well. Now, we're going to lose money hand over fist, but I think it'll be necessary. Now, my plan with the King of the Dead, I was saying, and then I stopped, is I'm going to go and take Isengard. I can do what I want with this army of dead men, and I think taking Orthanc and killing Saruman with them is going to be the best way. But I don't think, I'm afraid, that that's going to take place in this episode. How are we going to get an alliance with Gondor? Oh, they did it for map info. Oh, brilliant. Cheers, guys.
For us, then? No, we can't. Well, that seemed fruitful.
Right, that's Gondor on board. Now I will shoot move him. I'm not going to run all the way down to Dol Amroth. Gods no. That'll be about 9 turns away. Show cursor stat. Move character. What is his name? Hele Guiven. 251 188. Here we go. We'll chat to Dol Amroth on the next turn.
Yes, without question.
Right. And we've just crossed into Gondor's land, so Rohan will stop hating us. Oh, well, not until the King of the Dead leaves.
We go no further today.
But yeah. Right, we'll do a final turn for this one. We're back to 30-minute episodes moving forward, other than the live streams, of course.
Yes, my lord.
And we'll see if... now, if Angmar do attack Ostsul, I don't know if I'll fight that. I'll probably save it and start the next one with that. Which means, has this been an episode without a battle? No, we fought the town at the beginning, didn't we? Of course. That was the right move, after all, I think, attacking Dunlarak. How are we to know that Dunland would be so passive and just ignore our army as we capture another one of their towns? If Neason had attacked with the garrison forces, they would have beaten us, but they didn't have the guts to do it. And they've paid. I sent an emissary. Oh, we didn't get an agreeable deal. They did. Look how undefended Tharbad is.
Orders, my lord.
We absolutely want to get on that.
Honor. Orders.
Right, we've got to get past... what is the city in Ferdor called? I can't remember. This one here. I think it does border the river crossing, which is disappointing. But we'll take Tharbad and then go back for it. Because if we attack it first, it will just alert Dunland that we're coming, and we don't want that. Although that said, the spy can get over and have a look for us. Koloniak! There it is. Donchaith. Here, that's a fairly sizable garrison. Much bigger than even Tharbad, sorry. But yeah, if we attack that, they'll just start pulling all their troops up to it. But then that said, we have to get past it. So we have to go a tile by it anyway. And then Angmar's coming down. They'd love a taste of death again. Oh, we got another unit of scouts there.
As you wish. Merging armies.
As you wish. Merging armies.
An order. As you command.
Why would you walk? We know. I hate that feature so much. He knows the town is there. Why would he walk past it? Why is the game not clever enough to route those units a different way?
Yes.
That always bothers me.
We can go no further, my lord.
Alrighty.
What is it you wish to discuss?
Go on. Yes. Yes.
This proposal. Well, that seemed fruitful. Farewell.
Well, that's still Amrath on hand.
Yes.
We'll do that back over this way for now.
Yes.
Aragorn, all you've got to do is get into Anorian again. But Anorian, I think, is pretty much right there. Oh, the Pelennor field, sorry.
Your orders.
This whole area is called Anorian. That's to be incorrect. Anorian, of course, just simply means the lands of the sun.
It's not possible, my lord.
All right, all of our holdings in Dunland have been gone back to our enemy.
Yes.
But we're now going to secure our lands, which is going to be far more useful to us. The Byring and the Dunyard and the Dunlarak even were just to gut Dunland as a threat.
Your orders.
I think we don't really have an option but to hit Kaloniak and then just beat Dunland back as we go for Tharbad. We could then get across the river and take Caladir as well. And so we can secure all of this land with our staunch allies helping us. And then when Dunland's last stand army spawns, we can hold them at Tharbad. Much better plan. Much, much better plan.
My lord.
Yes.
I'm just thinking, as we are losing money,
Your will,
you guys aren't really doing anything useful in there.
by your command.
Go and jump in the army as
Your
well.
orders, my lord.
Brilliant. And then you guys will attack them. But for now, that's going to end it. So thank you very much for watching, if indeed you have. Tomorrow will be a Battle of Middle-earth, the final one of the Battle of Middle-earth Evil campaign from the first game. And then on the day after that, whenever that is, I will do a Dunedain intro as well to cover everything we've done in the first 35 turns. Or doesn't Gandalf come soon? I'm pretty sure Gandalf comes soon. So we'll get him as well. So stick tuned for that. But otherwise, have a wonderful day. And until we speak again, dear friends, Nevair Neden Pedemad Melonin, and farewell.